Hey, Aquarius, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your November 2025 love reading. Now, this session is devoted entirely to self-love and inner work, Aquarius. Today, we are going to cultivate a space to help you reconnect with your heart, to honor your growth and how far you've come, and to nurture the relationship you have with yourself. So no matter what season of life you find yourself in at this time, whether you are in the midst of healing, perhaps you're rebuilding or expanding, or even remembering who you are, this session is your invitation to return home to you and to trust that everything you've walked through has been shaping you for this next chapter. So let's dive in here and take a look at your current energy. You have the Chariot showing up. So this is your current relationship with yourself. You are moving into alignment. I love the Chariot coming through here. It tells me that there's this level of self-awareness where you are moving at a pace that feels good for you, that feels aligned for you, where you have the awareness to recognize patterns around defense mechanisms or patterns around sabotaging behaviors or repetitive cycles that have played out. There is a part of you that is emerging into more victory here because you have been setting boundaries, Aquarius. You have been speaking your truth from a place of authenticity. And I see that you are also moving into being able to express yourself in deeper ways than perhaps you have been able to in the past. Because the Chariot energy is connected to Cancer, and Cancer is a water sign, this is about you taking a look at your emotional side here. And if you have been feeling emotionally exhausted, I see that this is an area that you are reevaluating. And you may even be turning inward to ask yourself, where is my energy leaking when it comes to your own cup of love? Where am I feeling drained? What types of activities, relationships, or connections am I pursuing that uplift me? And what types of energies deplete me? Because you are focusing here on filling your cup. And this energy is of movement and emotional readiness here. And it is about you feeling like you're in control of your life, feeling like you are in the driver's seat here. And I see that there may have been periods of relationships where you may have felt selfish, or you may have felt like someone around you was being selfish with their energy. And that has caused you to really reflect and reevaluate what it is that you want when it comes to partnerships. So the Chariot is a beautiful energy to be in when you are in alignment. But if you feel like you are a bit stuck, the Chariot in the challenging position is about lack of direction. Like, where is my love life headed here? Or how do I truly feel about myself? What is going on in my heart space? So instead of letting impulsivities or instead of letting fears drive the director of your own life, this is about you getting behind the driver's seat and saying, what do I need to do, or who do I need to become in order to move forward here in matters of the heart? So there is this awareness, which I like. So let's look at the hidden wound. What aspect of yourself have you been neglecting or perhaps judging that may need a bit more love? You have here the Ace of Wands. This is about rebuilding motivation, because sometimes that Chariot isn't always motivated to go in a direction that feels confident, that feels good. And I see that you have been working on inner trust, trusting that you can make decisions that are in your highest good, that you can sit in the driver's seat of your own life. And this could be a wound that stems from control. It can be an inner child wound. It may have to do with emotional suppression, where at times you have, again, suppressed your own needs, or you have been silenced in some way, or if you have allowed your emotions to come through, people have judged or they have criticized and you felt shame, or you have perhaps felt guilt. And I see that there's this new energy that is bubbling up within you, or I don't even want to say new. It's more about you remembering. It's about remembering who you are, remembering that you have not only the potential, but you are already enough, that you are lovable, that it's okay to be safe. It's okay to be seen here. You are loved. You are whole. So I see that there's been some wounds here that have kept that chariot going in circles instead of moving forward here. Now, this could also be wounds around rejection, abandonment, even vulnerability. Opening yourself up, because we feel like if we open up, we could be wounded, we could be hurt. And there may even be this lack of momentum, lack of energy. Like, I don't really want to put in the effort or the energy. I don't feel like I can. My body or my timing is off. It just feels like there's this new sense of vitality within you that you are starting to remember. And that's where we roll into the stories, the old stories and wounds that you are being asked to release. You're being asked to release in order for you to move deeper into self-love with that chariot energy here. And that's why it says move on the card, because you want to move up out of this Three of Swords. Now, this is a heavy story to be telling ourselves. This is about you rebuilding that inner dialogue, because the inner story insists on sadness or isolation. Like, I am going to be alone for the rest of my life, or this sadness, this sorrow, or this pain is going to cripple me. It can be a story around love being earned, right? Like, I have to show up in a certain way. I have to look a certain way or be a certain way in order to be loved. And these are all stories that hold us back. And many of you have been working on your self-worth. All right. You've been working on, again, building that motivation and that confidence within. You've also been taking a look at the inner dialogue, which includes self-criticism and self-judgments. And I see here that it's not too late. Some of you may be telling the story like it's too late to change, or it's too late to start over. And that is absolutely not the truth at all. Your needs matter. And some of you may have even felt like if you showed a certain side of yourself, your true self, that you would be rejected. And you may have worn a mask, or you may have over given of that beautiful heart of yours to the point where you felt emotionally exhausted or depleted. Or you may have even checked out at times because vulnerability was too scary, because you've gone through something very challenging, very traumatic for many of you, whether this stems from the inner child, this could stem from a past relationship, the death of a loved one, or some hardships that you have endured within your finances or your family, whatever area of your life. And chances are many of you have had difficulties in relationships of all sorts here. So the old stories are saying, I'm meant to be sad, or this is very sad. How do I get out of this? Or, isolation here, loneliness, depression. But what's happening here with the chariot is you are being guided to take a look at any unresolved emotional pain that has caused you bitterness, that has caused you to maybe sit in the energy of resentments or even forgiveness. Self-forgiveness included. And with this Three of Swords, it is about you at times feeling like you can't trust anyone, right? I can't trust anyone, so I have to do it myself. Or, there's a hyper independence, even a stubbornness at times where you may feel like, okay, that I can't rely on anybody. I've never been able to rely on anyone, so I might as well just do it on my own. And that can be a story that limits us. So whatever your story is, Aquarius, you have the ability to turn it around. I feel like I've said Capricorn. I apologize if I have said Capricorn in your reading. This is a reading for Aquarius. You may be on the cusp of Capricorn energy. Now, what is your strength? Now, this is one of my favorite parts of the reading. Your strengths and your qualities that are ready to be celebrated and embraced. And you have the Ace of Cups. Love abounds. This is beautiful energy. This tells me that you have cultivated a space within that includes empathy and emotional intelligence, meaning that the sensitivities that you have that once felt burdensome, you are now recognizing as one of your greatest strengths. And another one of your greatest strengths, because the Ace of Cups holds many different gifts, includes kindness, right? This is about you offering up compassion for yourself and others. But now you get to do so in a way where you set the rules here, which includes boundaries, saying no without guilt, protecting your peace, protecting your integrity and your own energy here. This is having the courage and the willingness to grow and heal and reflect because it's self-love. And self-love, yes, it can include massages and bubble baths and allowing yourself to rest and meditate. But self-love also includes looking at our patterns, the uncomfortable parts of ourselves that we sometimes tend to suppress or deny or avoid, which, mind you, is a natural tendency because we don't want pain, right? None of us want pain. So it is so courageous when we step into the willingness to grow. And that's where the Chariot comes in. You are in the midst of not only healing, but reflecting on the past in such a way where you've learned valuable lessons. And now you get to open your beautiful heart up to new love, if that's something you are wanting. But it's this self-love and the self-respect and the self-appreciation, regardless of relationship status, whether you are in a partnership or you are attracting one or calling one in. This is going to pay off. Your resilience, your courage, your kindness, and trusting in your own inner wisdom is the biggest flex here for you. So how can you better nurture your own needs? Spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Wow, you have accomplished a great deal in this life, but many of you have accomplished some self-image goals of yours. Perhaps this is a weight loss journey for some of you. This could even be your relationship with food. The Pentacle realm has to do with our material world, but also our body, right? It's our body and our health. And for many of you, you've been turning within, looking within to heal some of the physical ailments that have shown up in your world. And I see here with this pentacle, you are connecting with your body, or you're being guided to connect to your body, to nurture yourself, to listen to the signals and the signs that your body is giving off, Aquarius, and to love yourself, even if it feels like some of those parts of yourself are hard to love, because you are whole and you are remembering that everything you've gone through has made you into this beautiful being that you are. And if you have struggled with your health, I definitely see a powerful reward coming in. Now, allowing yourself to rest and digest, right? The parasympathetic nervous system. So basically rebalancing and resetting your own nervous system by meditating, by getting out in nature. This can be, again, saying no when you mean no, and protecting your space instead of feeling like you have to say yes because that's an old story. Like, I have to say yes because my love must be earned. That's something you are wanting to release or let go of. This is also about, expressing your emotions in ways that feel healthy. Because I want to remind you that anger, that fear, that all of those maybe even heavier emotions are okay. They're not bad, right? We often think that if we're angry, it's bad, or if we are sad, that it's bad, right? It's not. It is part of the human experience of emotions that we are meant to feel. And yes, we want to lean into things that feel good, but you can channel some of those heavier emotions into dance, into journaling, into therapy, into any artistic outlet that you can think of that you enjoy. And many of you are rebuilding that inner connection with yourself, right? That inner dialogue through prayer, through breath work, through mindfulness, and for number one, awareness. Recognizing when there's negative self-talk, or recognizing when your body is trying to get your attention, because it's through awareness that we're able to grow. When we are present, we're able to learn. And so when we are checked out, right? When our mind is someplace else, we're not able to grow. We are stuck and we see patterns repeating itself out. So allow a supportive connection or relationships to help nurture you at this time, whether it be your friends, your pets, your family, your animals. Connect to community here and practice that self-compassion, treating yourself gently, talking to yourself kindly. And your chakra for the month includes the heart chakra. A lot of signs have been getting the heart chakra. And oftentimes when I connect to healing and energy work, it is the heart chakra that holds a lot of the emotional wounds. And this is a theme around forgiveness and compassion and love, right? It can be conditional and unconditional love, because this is where self-love truly blooms. Forgiving you, releasing judgment, and embracing the beauty of who you are, Aquarius, with openness and tenderness, right? Being tender with yourself here, knowing that you are already enough, working on forgiving yourself here if need be, and trusting that your sensitivity is your strength. And I see that many of you are struggling at times with being vulnerable and opening up, perhaps after loss. And you have the ability to love again. You have the ability to open that heart space if you are currently in a dynamic, and really take care of your inner world, your inner relationship, so your outer relationships will flourish. And lastly here, a message from your higher self. You have library. Library, it says take control of your own narrative. It's number 22. Some of you may be born on the 22nd. Someone else is trying to call the shots in your life. Remember, this can be the mind as well. Someone's narrative. I think I mentioned that in the beginning, or, the stories that we weave. They think they can waltz in and control your every move, and you need to say no to their manipulation. It might seem tempting to relinquish control, but if you give someone else power over your narrative, chaos will ensue, and it will be all in their favor, not yours. The stories inside of you make you a library on the verge of bursting, but only if you are the one to pick up the pen. That is what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, I'm not sure if I did say Capricorn. I'm getting that energy heavy for you. So that tells me some of you could be connected to a Capricorn. You may have Capricorn placements in your chart, or you are a cusper. So again, this reading is for Aquarius. Aquarius sun, moon, rising, or any placements of Aquarius that you are digging into at this time. If you enjoyed this session, or you took away maybe a nugget of wisdom, which I certainly hope you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It not only helps the channel, but helps the spiritual algorithm get to those that need the messages the most. Because remember, Aquarius, when we heal, the world heals. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video, or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.